What's up, everyone? It's your girl Shay here. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. As you can see by the title of today's video, it is officially, at this point when I'm recording this the beginning of February. It is February 1st, so happy first day of the month for Black History Month, and also happy Lunar New Year for all those who celebrate it. So of course, this video, I had to do my end of the month favorites video for January 2022. So before, usually I used to do like anime and manga wrap-ups for each month pretty much, but due to me like changing my content and opening up to more of a wider variety of content that I consume besides just anime and manga, now I'm going to be doing a favorites each month of the content that I consumed during that particular month. So of course, this one is January, so the different content that I'm going to be discussing is things like music, YouTube content, TV, movie content, and also of course books, and just like my overall favorites for that month. So let's get started. So first, we're going to talk about music. So these are the music titles or artists or songs that I listened to the most throughout January, and they're the ones that were my favorite. So for music, first up is of course going to be BTS. I'm a huge BTS fan, so I listen to them constantly. Every time I get in the car, I'm always listening to BTS, but the songs in particular that I seem to always gravitate listen to the most are Love Maze, Love Myself, Magic Shop, and Dionysus. These are the 4 song titles that I find myself gravitating towards the most and constantly listening to and enjoying the most. So that is what the music is for BTS. Next is Tori Kelly and also Taron Egerton, and the song is There's Nothing Holding Me Back, and pretty much is the song that they sing in Sing 2. The movie actually came out in December, as did the album, but I didn't really start listening to this song a lot until January. Next is Line B, who is actually an artist on YouTube, and they do a lot of, or she does a lot of song titles or song covers. So I like her cover of Way Back Home and also her cover of Serendipity, which is also actually a Jimin, who is from BTS, his solo track also. Also, I started recently getting into another K-pop group, which is GOT7. I do know that at this point, GOT7 has had issues with their agency, which was JYP, and they're not really under them anymore. But I did start getting into their music and into them just as a whole. And I really love their song, Just Right. It is one of their, I think, older songs, I believe, but I still love it. I really like it, and I started listening to it a whole lot more. And the last one that I was listening to the most also for music is actually Daughtry. Now, if you don't know who Daughtry is a band, but Daughtry also was the name of a guy that actually was a part of American Idol. I don't believe he won, but he did go on to still come out with a lot of music. And his song is called I'll Fight. And I actually really like this song. Probably maybe about 2 or 3 years ago, I really heard this song, and I just recently just kind of like rediscovered it as a part of like the music I already have on my phone. So that's pretty much it for music. Those are all the songs I really listened to and favorited and enjoyed listening to the most throughout January. Next is YouTube content. So for YouTube content, these are all the videos or the types of videos that I was consuming a lot of in January of 2022. And the first thing, of course, is BTS content. BTS has their own YouTube channel. It's like BTS called Bangtan Bombs, and basically it's like behind the scenes videos of like different award shows and things like that, music videos, and just overall things that they're always recording. And I always watch that sort of content, as well as watching like compilation videos that are put together by other artists or other creators on YouTube, as well as watching people reacting to BTS content as well. Also, another thing that I started watching a whole lot more, or more so listening to a whole lot more, is scary stories. So there are a lot of people on YouTube who actually read scary stories that people put out on like Reddit and stuff like that, like Let's Not Meet stories, or stories like scary Walmart stories or scary Target stories. And it's just people's like actual scary stories of them like encountering people that are either extremely creepy or paranormal and stuff. And I love listening to these, and I like listening to them like when I'm cleaning up or when I'm like when I was working, because right now I'm off this week. So during the week when I was working, I would listen to them as well, because it's a great way for me to enjoy content and not worry about like me having to like watch something on my TV at the exact same time. Also, I really got into watching a lot of journaling videos. So I do a lot of digital journaling. So I have like a planner and I write stuff in there and I journal a lot. And sometimes me watching journaling videos gives me a lot of ideas of like things that I can add to my journal or things that I want to start doing, or a lot of times it's just really relaxing for me to have on in the background when I'm also doing journaling or doing something else. And the last thing that I really got into watching a lot of is Got7 content. Like I said, I got into their music, so I want to learn more about them and know like who all the members are. So I started watching a lot of like older videos or compilation videos, very similar to what people have put together for BTS. And I started watching that as well. So now that we're out of YouTube content, next is TV and movie content. So this is anything that I watched on like Netflix or Hulu or any other, like anything else that I watched that was not on YouTube. So one of the first things is Law of the Jungle. So Law of the Jungle, I actually watched on Viki, which is like a site or like an app that's on my Apple TV where you can watch a lot of like Korean dramas, you can watch like Japanese dramas. Basically it's a lot of like Asian media, and Law of the Jungle is actually a reality TV show where they took a lot of different artists and then they go to like a separate like island or whatever, and they have to kind of like survive, kind of like Survivor but for like idols and stuff like that, or for famous people. And on this one I decided to watch the season where Jin from BTS was actually on it, so I did watch that. I enjoyed it a lot. I only watched the episodes that he was on, and then I haven't really watched any more, but I probably will go back and watch more as I learn about more and more like Korean idols or Korean celebrities. And then other than that, the only other show that I also really watched was I Married an Anti-Fan, which is a Korean drama on the same exact app. I think I'm on like episode 5 or 6 at this point, and I think that there's like 17 episodes in total. And last but not least is books. So these are anything that I read during January 2022. And this isn't just like manga. This is also things like fan fiction or actual books. So the 2 books that I actually really enjoyed reading or listening to in my case, one was Sweeter Than Sweet, which is actually a BTS fanfic. And that was actually on AO3. Basically the main premise of this fanfic, and I think a lot of people might enjoy it, is basically a girl is at the club. She meets, what is supposed to be Jimin, and basically it turns out that him and the rest of BTS are all vampires, and she falls in love with Jimin basically. So yeah, it's very much of a, just to be warned, there is like violence in it, there's like graphic violence, there's also like graphic like sexual content in there as well. So if you're not a fan of that, I do not recommend reading this. It's 90 chapters long and it is complete, so that is why I went for it. It is such a good fanfic. I enjoyed reading it so much, so I highly recommend it if you're someone who enjoys reading BTS fanfiction. And the last thing that I also read as far as like books are concerned was, I actually listened to this one. It's an audiobook and it's called Way of the Peaceful Warrior. It actually was recommended to me actually from my fiance, and we actually had both already seen the movie that was basically made based off the book. So the movie was really good, but I always wanted to listen to the book, and the book is great. The main premise of the book is like this guy is so worried like about his future pretty much, and he's not really living in the moment, and he's also a gymnast. And so basically the main premise is him like learning basically a lot of mindfulness and learning to, be in the moment and not worry so much of like what's ahead. So for me, as someone who kind of struggles with that, it was great to be able to read this book. So yeah, that overall is all the content that was my favorite, that I listened to, that I read, that I consumed during the month of 2022. I've already started consuming content already for February, and I am enjoying it. So I will do another one of these videos. Let me know what you guys think of these videos like this. I know it's a little bit different compared to the usual like wrap-up videos that I used to do last year. And I do want to say that I do plan to read some manga this month in February. I think I was on a little bit of a manga like reading slump, so I really wasn't into reading manga at that time. I think now I'm kind of ready to step back into it, so I'm excited for that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this video. Let me know, your like suggestions for future videos. Let me know what was your favorite like content or media to consume this past month, or consume in January pretty much. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already. And of course, I also have links below on my social media accounts. I have an Instagram, a Twitter, and a TikTok. So please feel free to follow me on all of those social media sites. And I'll see you guys soon with a new video. Like I always tell you guys, stay positive, stay nerdy, and today's day and age, stay healthy. And of course, please stay safe. All right, you guys. Bye.